Oh, hey there, everyone. It's Ken Scott getting back at you with another exciting video about US Entry Waiver issues, Canadian pardons, and etc. etc. So, I think by now I'm getting used to this new software regarding how to record on screen videos. So, again, bear with me. Um, it's still somewhat new to me. So, anyway, what this video is titled is basically we're going to show you how to do a purge request. Before I get into that, you really should know what a purge request actually is. And I guess to back up a bit there, the best way I can go about explaining it is there's a thing called a charge, which obviously everyone here knows, and a conviction. A charge, essentially, for in simple terms, is basically when you've been accused by a government judicial agency of violating the law. So, for example, if you walk down the street in Surrey, BC, and you dropped a chocolate bar, wrapper on the ground, and the RCMP say, "Hey, what are you doing?" and you give him the middle finger, you just committed a violation. Or more so, if he approaches you and says, "Pick that up," and you push him out of the way and tell him to, how do you say it, STFU, yeah, you just committed a violation. But we won't endorse that or go there. So that's your charge. And then when you go to court, either the judge is going to say, yes, you're guilty, you've got, I don't know, 6 months probation, be a good boy, and then you've got a conviction, essentially. Or if the judge says this is nonsense, tosses it out, well, you only have a charge. So just imagine that you only have a charge for the purpose of this video and no conviction. Charge only. So what I've done here, I've basically pulled 4 requests that we've processed and submitted. So I'm going to show you guys quickly how to put together a purge request. You don't need to hire a discount waiver company or any of that nonsense to do this. You can do it yourself if you have a simple case. Okay, so we go open. This is 2010, this one. Okay, so this is basic. Okay, this one is an approved request of a purge that we submitted to VPD February 2010. And that's when we had the Delta location, which has changed over. It's a different story. That's the gentleman's year of birth. We'll just leave it at that. And this is what an approved request, at least back then, looked like. Dear sir, madam, we write to you, yada, 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 Vancouver, yada, client's fingerprint and photograph records, yada. The Vancouver Police Department requests removal of your client's criminal record history from the RCMP Canadian Police Information Center repository in Ottawa. Actually, I take that back. This one is a denial. I thought this was an approval. It's a denial. If I go in the bottom now, it's because this one was on a very sensitive case. So that's my mistake. This one was actually a denial. So this is what a denial looks like. They do not have to approve a purge request. You know what I mean? There's no 100% guarantee. So it really depends upon the agency and the individual. And VPD does have a habit of being sticklers, just FYI. So again, this was actually a denial, not an approval. So, well. And let's go to the next one. This one should be an approval. Okay, this one's for 2017. It was sent to the NIMO, RCMP. I made the name up Singh. His name was definitely not Singh, but, how many Singhs are there in Canada? So, just go figure. So again, Mr. Singh has requested his 2013 arrest records be purged, fingerprints and photographs destroyed since he received no conviction. And that's the individual's name. That's his year of birth. I left that. That's my sloppy and atrocious handwriting signature. And file copy. Okay. RMP, yada yada. 19 USA sauce. So yeah, so February 2017, February 23rd. Okay. So yeah, so this one has been approved. So he is history in terms of his charge showing up in the database, the CPIC database. And that's the official there, yada, 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 yada. Okay, so, and we'll open this one. Yeah, this is a 2018 one that was submitted from the whole office up in Yorkshire. And basically, this was another one with the VPD, different letterhead, September 2018. This was when I was at the Yorkshire location in 2018. Obviously, I'm no longer there, but this is when I was at Yorkshire. And we've got a video of the Yorkshire location here on the channel. So what I'm going to do is combine all three of those clips into one. That way you guys can see the Yorkshire location. Because we've got Yorkshire, we've got London, UK, we've got Vancouver, Surrey, BC, Vancouver, BC, and we got one kind of vacant one in Washington State for the moment. Okay, anyway, so this individual, VPD, September 10, 2018, Mr. Joe Smith, arrest records be purged, fingerprints, photographs destroyed. Since, again, no conviction was RCMP report. So this was his info. That's his year of birth. That's the date he had to charge. And we go down. And this was sent to me for whatever. And this, okay, so this one was the VPD charged a fee this time, $60. So that's fine, whatever. We had to send them $60 for them to process it. Now, note that, let me go back here. This was submitted 10 September 2018. So it took them to April 2019 to get back to us. And then this is when they said they want the fee, which, fine, whatever. They got their fee. You guys can read this at your own convenience. So you can also pause this video during different periods and just read the letters if you so choose. Now this is his approved purge. This letter will confirm yada 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 yada, destroy yada yada, notes, okay, yada yada. Yeah. So again, you can pause the video and look at it at your own, your own convenience, whatever. But the bottom line is, the gentleman no longer has a charge on the RCMP database. So, I even put here approved request. So a lot of these things are done on the spot. There's no rehearsing, so just bear with me. And okay, now this one is a complete purge request. So you guys should pay attention to this last one, because I'm thinking if you follow the guidelines that we did, putting this request together, you can likely do your own purge request. So you don't need to hire a discount waiver company. You don't need to hire Batman's pardons and waivers, or even the nice gentleman in the special online room, who I will not mention his name, the nice mellow fellow, who incidentally is extremely jealous of yours truly, but go figure. He wishes he could be me. Anyway, so this was 2009. And this one was on someone I know, I will just say. And 09, that's the old address, Chilliwack Court. So the first thing we did was we wrote to the Chilliwack Court to get a copy of the court file, just for, for our files. Let's just say Singh. Mr. Singh requires the documents filing for a purgement of his trafficking charge, yada. You guys can read that. The gentleman was born in 69, and his charge was 05, and it was trafficking, or otherwise PPT, but trafficking. So again, I took some pertinent info out that's not needed. It's us, yada, Mr. Singh again, yada yada, same disposition, yada. This one's to the Chilliwack RCMP, where we're actually asking them to please remove his prints, etc., and destroy them. Okay, and then we go here. This was his RCMP report. So what you guys can do is, first, let me back a little bit. Get your court files and keep it yourself. Lock it away. Don't tell anyone. Especially do not tell a female partner. And that's a whole nother story, video about that. You never tell these women your business. And again, this is the letter to the actual Chilliwack RCMP asking for the file to be destroyed. So what we did, we included a copy of a pardon application, because the pardon prints for RCMP, that fingerprint check will show all charges and conviction. You don't want to use the one for waiver. You want to use the one that says pardon, because like I said, the pardon shows all charges and convictions. So you really want to, focus on the charges part. So you cannot, otherwise you cannot use prints for waiver because it won't show the charges. So you want to use always the one for pardon. I want to just make sure you guys get that point. Okay, make sure I did the proper redactment here. So okay, so yeah, he lived in Alder Grove. Pardon application. Okay, here's the FPS number, all this stuff, identifying info. I want to make sure that I got everything out, which I think I did. Okay, that's fine. 08. Yeah, that's fine. Alder Grove. That was his street, a certain avenue in Alder Grove. These are some old labels that we have that we no longer use. So I just decided to use it to cover up the like actual fingerprints and his photo and all that stuff. So yeah, so I got everything properly whited out, it looks like. Okay, so same with this one. Make sure I got everything correct. I wiped out his FPS numbers there, his name, another good old label. That's just, I forget what that was, but that's another identifying mark I took out. And notice it says possession of Schedule 1 substance for the purpose of trafficking. Section 5.2 of the Canadian Drug Services Act, or Drug Substance Act. Stay of proceedings, Chilliwack RCMP. Now this is really important. Stay of proceedings. This tells you that it's not a conviction, because if it's a conviction, it will not say stay of proceedings. It would be on this side, and this would show the disposition, which is your punishment, yada yada. So I'm not going to do that. I was going to just maybe switch this around easy for you guys to see it. Maybe I will. I don't know if that makes any difference. So again, if it was a conviction, it would all be on this side. So this is the actual charge. Okay, and last one. Let me see if I can switch back. How do I go back? I guess there. So in this case, in 09, this was his disposition. This is the old address, which is whatever. Their file, RCMP file number, the date, 2010. His name has been taken out. Please be advised that as of this date, your FPS file 123456789 has now been canceled. If there are any questions, please call me at 867-5309. Thank you, and Miss, can I even pronounce her name? I won't even try. So, guys, essentially, you can go through this video and look at the other screens, pause them and look at them in great detail. And you can basically put together your own purge request to get your charges erased. Not convictions, charges. So you guys got to understand the difference between a charge and an actual conviction. And by the way, this is a bit of a landmine, because what happens is, let me back up here. Now, this ties into actually waiver applications, because the way the immigration code reads, and I think I've placed that in another video before, is the fact that they go by whatever relevant convictions you have, which if you got a PPT conviction, which, is trafficking, yeah, you need a waiver for the most part. But if you only have a charge and no conviction, they cannot force you to get a waiver only on a charge. But here's the landmine. John Smith is crossing over, and they see that John Smith had a charge for trafficking, but not a conviction. So if I'm the officer, I say, hey, John, how are you today, sir? And John says, oh, I'm fine. Good, sir. You need some water? Are you hungry, anything? No? Okay, good. Hey, I saw you have a charge for trafficking. How much money did you make? What product were you moving? Was it blow? Was it crystal? Like, what were you moving? And John says, what do you mean? Well, like, what were you selling? Was it just curious, satisfy my curiosity. What were you moving? How much money did you make? Oh, I don't know. I made $200 a day, etc. Oh, okay, all right. What did you do with the money? Oh, I paid my rent. I paid credit cards. Okay. All right, fair enough. How long have you been trafficking, do you think? Oh, I've been doing it for about, I don't know, 8 years. Oh, you still do it? Well, just every now and then, just cover the bills. Oh, okay, no worries. Why, is something wrong? No, just kind of curious. No big thing. Okay, no problem. So who do you, out of curiosity, who do you use in Surrey to, help move the stuff? And he says, well, who said I use Surrey? So I'm just guessing maybe it's not Surrey. He's like, well, yeah, it is Surrey. It's Big Al. over in Scott Road in 96. Okay, okay. Oh yeah, by the Save on Food there. Yeah, he said, yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. No, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, all right. Hey, so hey man, why don't you go have a seat for a moment? Let me just take care of some things. So then John said, "What is that a problem?" No, 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 don't worry. I said, "I'm going to get you right out the door here." Oh, and he said, "Okay, you know, 'cause I have to get going to Bellingham to go shopping at I don't know, Costco." Nope, sir. I guarantee you, I'm going to get you out this door within the next hour or so. That you got my word on it. Okay, fine. Hey, okay, cool. He goes and sits down. I put together my report and print out the sworn statement that I just did. I kind of skimmed over a bunch of stuff, guys. So anyway, so I say, John, come up to the desk here for a moment. John comes up to the desk. Hey, John, do you mind just reading through this page, each page, and just initial here, and then sign? What is this? Oh, this is just a write up of the conversation we had earlier. He said, oh, okay. John looks through it, etc., etc. I get the signature. I said, okay. John said, can I go? Yeah. Oh, but one more thing. You realize you are now inadmissible to the USA. Well, why? Well, for your PPT charge. Yeah, but I wasn't convicted. Correct, John. You were not convicted. But you've told me that you're still trafficking. You've told me that you trafficked in the past. You've told me what you've done with the money, how you pay your credit card bills and rent, etc., etc. John says, well, yeah, you asked me. Yeah, I did ask you, John, and I appreciate the fact you cooperated. You know, I do appreciate that. He said, well, yeah, but I didn't know I was going to get in trouble. You never told me that. I said, John, well, I'm not required to tell you that. You know, you said you get me out the door, and yeah, and I'm keeping my word, John. There's the door right there, and then I'm allowing you to leave to return to Canada. Oh, I thought you would let me go to the USA. John, did I actually say that? Or did I say I will get you out the door within the hour? So then John stands there looking befuddled. He's scratching his head, saying, what the hell just happened? Then John leaves. He comes to me, and I look at the sworn statement and get all the data, all the documents. I said, okay, John, you just talked yourself into a major problem here. I said, but I can get this turned around. It's not a problem. So I tell John, this is going to cost you $3,500. And I explained to John why and what it covers, what we have to do. And he may grumble a bit, but then he'll pay. And we put his packet together. We show all the proper rehabilitation, because PPT has to show a certain type and amount of rehabilitation that I will not mention here, so the discount waiver companies will stay in the dark like they are anyway. So after a certain period of time, I will say, John's waiver packet is ready. John's packet has been submitted, whether you use the one method or the other. I won't go into the methods. And then about a year later, or less, John likely will get a 1-year waiver. Because with PPT, they get really funny about if it's a recent offense. So that has to be factored into the equation. So he'll get a 1 year the first time, and probably about the third time he'll get a 5-year, and then he's good to go. And then I'll talk to John about what's going to happen when you cross over in the future, yada yada. You know, how they're going to pull you to the side and all that good stuff, and ask you so many questions. So, but yeah, that's one of the things I want to emphasize about these charges, people, because CBP, they can use these charges to go on a fishing trip. So if you guys don't know the street game, you guys are going to get screwed at that border. So I suggest you guys reach out to us before you even go down there if you know you've been charged but not convicted. And I always forget to do this in the beginning, but we are www, and it's www for the nice mellow fellow, www US Entry Waiver Services.com, and we're at 888-908-3841 and 604-332-9213. Like I said, we've got locations globally. One in London, the one in Yorkshire, Burnaby, Vancouver, Surrey, and Washington State. So you can likely see, depending upon where you are, you likely see either myself or one of my guys. It really depends on the date and time you come and whom you want to see. So there's many factors that are involved here. So it just really depends. So anyway, again, www.usentry-waiver-services.com, 888-908-3841, or 604-332-9213. And again, I'm Ken Scott. I'm a senior U.S. immigration law intelligence analyst, and we work to resolve all border crossing issues. So again, in the words of my Vulcan colleague, live long and prosper.